What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Tech Tuesday, and today we are going to be talking about the top 5 cameras to look forward in 2021. Let's get into this. In the year of 2020, the year that we will never forget, we have had a lot of cameras that released in 2020, and they were really great cameras, like the Canon R5, the Canon C70, Sony FX6, Red Komodo 6K, Sony A7S Mark III. So yeah, a lot of great cameras came out in the year of 2020, but in 2021, there's gonna be more cameras that are coming out. And I am actually more excited about those cameras than the 2020 cameras. So let's get this started because I'm about to tell you the top 5 cameras to look forward in 2021. So let's go ahead and start with number 1. So the first camera that I want to share with you is the Sony A7 Mark IV. I have heard in the past that Sony cameras are really good cameras, and I have never owned a Sony camera before, but I have friends who own several cameras from Sony, and they are, like, I've held it before, I've worked with it before, and it's really impressive. I am impressed with those cameras, and to be honest, I like them. I really like those cameras. So there has been a rumor for Sony A7 Mark IV that the camera may shoot 60 frames per second in 4K. For a camera that has 4 frame sensor and it can film 60 frames per second in 4K, that is literally a filmmaker's dream, and I think that would be a great feature for the Sony camera. And from Tech Radar, it looks like that the sensor will make a big jump from 24.2 megapixel to 30 or 32 megapixel. That is actually really good, and I think that is going to be a great addition for photography. More megapixels mean more quality for cameras and photography, photos, and videos. So we think that the release date for the A7 Mark IV may release in February of 2021. Right now it is January, so we are about a month away from a release date, and that is something to look forward in 2021. Also, for the pricing for the Sony A7 Mark IV, it may be around $2,500 US. Camera number 2, and it is a Sony A9 Mark III. For the Sony A9 Mark III, there may be an 8K option on that camera. I think that would be worth waiting for. There could be an 8K option for that camera, and I think that will be really good. My question is, will it overheat? If it does overheat, then I don't think that would be the camera you should get if you're going to be filming a lot from that camera. But if you're going to be doing photography, probably. The sensor is most likely going to be a 50 megapixel sensor. And that is going to be a huge step up for photographers, and taking a 50 megapixel photo from a camera, the quality of the photo is going to be astounding. Like, it's going to be amazing, not even lying. So the release date for the A9 Mark III is rumored to be very early in the year of 2021, so I'm guessing it can be around February, the same time with Sony A7 Mark IV. So keep an eye out, everybody, because this is going to be a huge change for photography and filmmaking in 2021. So I'm assuming that the new camera will be around $5,000 US. And the reason is that probably because of an 8K quality. So I'm really curious about the Sony A9 Mark III because if it shoots in 8K, will it overheat? And let's just see what happens when it releases. I really look forward in seeing if the A9 will be a good camera. So camera number 3 to look forward in 2021 is the Canon EOS R7. Before we jump into that, I feel like that Canon has made so many cameras from last year, like R5, R6, and now they're gonna make an R7. But as I researched more through that R7 camera, it looks like it's going to be a huge difference compared to the R5 and R6. According to Canon rumors, the EOS R7 is rumored to be a crop sensor, not full frame. Weird, right? It's a little bit confusing, and why crop sensor on a Canon camera that is mirrorless? There are other cameras that are crop sensor, but why an R series? According to TechRadar, they said that we're likely to see Canon work to maximize burst performance and offer a sports action photography camera at a reasonable cost. So I think that there are good things to look at the cropped sensor camera, because there are good things that they can give that a full frame camera cannot give. Also, there is a rumor for the EOS R7 that it may film in 60 frames per second in 4K. In my opinion, I think that they will be late in the game, because a lot of crop sensor cameras are already filming in 4K 60 frames per second, and an R7 that's coming out in the year of 2021 will be late in the game. So it wouldn't be impressive for me, but like compared to the Sony a7 Mark IV with the full frame sensor, and it is able to film in 4K 60 frames per second, that is a huge plus, because there are not a ton of mirrorless cameras that shoot 60 frames per second in 4K quality. Camera number 4 to look forward in 2021 is a DJI FPV drone. There has been a rumor for a really long time that DJI will release a FPV drone, but they haven't said anything yet. So recently, photos have been leaked, and it looks like that DJI is in progress of making the FPV drone. Here are a couple of leaked photos that we have found of the FPV drone, and to me, it looks really cool. If they are making it and going to release it very soon, I would definitely like to be one of the first customers to get it and try it out. I think that it'll be an awesome drone. Yet I think that it's also going to be challenging. So I like to be challenged a lot through cameras and photography, so that kind of excites me a little bit on the FPV drone. There is a rumor on the FPV drone that it will film in 4K 60 frames per second. I think that's going to be really cool, and also that's another camera in 2021 that will film in 4K 60 frames per second. According to TechRadar, it looks like that the flight time will be 21 minutes. That doesn't sound long, but for the FPV drone, that would be really long. And so I'm looking on Google on the average flight time for FPV drones, and Google said 3 minutes to 20 minutes. So basically DJI is making a drone that is longer than 3 minutes and just 1 minute longer than 20 minutes. So I think that is still plenty of time. So this Mini 2 that I have in hand, this flight time is 31 minutes. That is 10 minutes longer than the FPV drone. But the FPV drone will more likely to be faster than this drone, of course. And with the drone being faster, it will use a lot more batteries, and it will make the time shorter, which is 21 minutes. Also, in a couple of leaked photos, it looks like the goggle will be included. That looks really cool. I have never worn that kind of goggle before, and I'd be really curious to try that on. Definitely. I bet everybody cares about that too. Cool. So it looks like that the FPV drone will be released in early 2021. That's another camera to look forward to, so I'm really excited about that as well. Fifth and final camera to look forward in 2021 is the iPhone 13. So for the past couple of years, Apple has done so many great things to the camera of the phone, and I have the 11 Pro, and holy cow, I have filmed a lot through the phone, and I love that camera. And every year, Apple makes their phone, of course, better and better and better. Like, recently, Apple made iPhone 12, and that phone is phenomenal. Camera quality on the phone is just outstanding. Like the LiDAR scanner. iPhone 12 can shoot RAW video profile. It can do multi-exposure high dynamic range on the phone, and you can edit it like it is in RAW. That is super impressive. So the rumor for the iPhone 13 is the lens of the camera may go up to 1.8 aperture. Right now the current one on the iPhone 12 is 2.4 aperture. So if the iPhone 13 will make the f1.8 camera, then that will be the next level of the phone photography game. With a camera that can shoot f1.8, that is really impressive, and I'm guessing that the iPhone 13 will be much better than a beginner DSLR. And I'm really curious of how the iPhone 13 will compete with the DSLR cameras. I really want to see what happens right there, because DSLR cameras are like professional level cameras, and if an iPhone can beat that, then DSLR cameras are just going to be nothing. It's just going to be a camera, and the iPhone is going to be a phone with a camera on it that is technically better than the DSLR. So I'm really curious of what that will look like in the year of 2021, and I think that it's going to be really interesting with that camera on the iPhone 13. So for the release date for the iPhone 13, it looks like that it will be September or October. Just like every year from the past, Apple had released their phone in September and October. I'm really excited to see what the iPhone 13 can do and what it can compete with the DSLR or mirrorless cameras. Let's just see what it does. Alright, so that is all of the top 5 cameras to look forward in 2021. One of the top cameras that I look forward in 2021 is the DJI FPV drone. I'm really curious of what it will look like, and I'm also really curious to try it out. Let me know in the comment section what is one of the top 5 cameras that you look forward most in the year of 2021. Thank you guys for watching this far in the video, and I really appreciate that. If you really want to see more of this video, more of Tech Tuesday video, hit the subscribe button, and definitely I will make more videos for you guys. I'll see you guys next time.